think it's discipline, because we of course go fast on a racetrack, but because we race, like I never really have that desire of driving really quick on the road, because what's the like, do I need to show off anyway?
Do you remember the first time you got in a car and what that was like and the experience surrounding it?
A race car?
Any car, really?
Any car. Oh, well, a road car already happened before, like closed areas. My dad would let me drive a bit. Or driving the van home. But the race car as well was very special experience, because it's so different to a go-kart, and you sit completely different. You see a lot less, and yeah, that first emotion as well. Like you drive out, you have to drive with a clutch, you pull away, and everything is so new. So it's very weird initially. You take a few laps to get comfortable.
Do you experience any rustiness when you presumably you're on the circuit for a while and then you go back to driving a car?
Not really. You easily get used to. You just know that it's very different. One car to the other.
The struggle with, like, if you have different brands, right? Like the whole menu,
sitting, and the sitting position,
yeah,
the height.
It's very, that's the probably the driving itself is not a problem, but just the seating position, like how you have to control everything, between the brands is very different.
When did you guys, if you don't mind me asking, pass your driving tests, and how much do you remember about that?
On my birthday, actually, because I had to leave the next day, I think at the time, to the next Grand Prix. So there was a lot of pressure on getting it on my birthday, because then otherwise I wouldn't have had time for like a month. And I really wanted to, of course, get my driving license as soon as possible.
Yeah, for me, I remember in Mexico, you have to, at the test, you have to park within the two cars in reverse. And that's probably the last thing you learn when you're driving. So that was pretty tricky, but in the end, I managed to get my license.
So how do you do it? Well, how do you do it? Because it's like this reference point, right?
Yeah.
What they tell you?
You basically, well, they don't tell you. You have to do it by...
How they told me in Belgium was that when you have the car in front and the car behind you have to park in between, is the back window, like the pillar. If you stop like to the front car with the pillar, at the bumper, then it's a better way of putting it, like reversing it in. That's what they told me.
You stop at the middle, not
no. So with the you have your seat next to you, and then the pillar, here, and then the back window. That reference is of the bumper of the car, next to you. That's what they told me, at least. I mean,
did it work?
I didn't crash the car. I didn't damage any cars around me.
Not going to argue with that. What do you think is the key to becoming a better driver? I guess in general, not just in Formula One.
I think it's discipline, because we of course go fast on a racetrack, but when you're on the road, I mean, there's no point to try and replicate something like that. You have to stick to the rules. And honestly, I think it's more about just getting from A to B. And we don't, like, I never have this design. That's of course because we race. Like, I never really have that desire of driving really quick on the road, because what's the, like, do I need to show off anyway? But yeah, it's discipline for me. And then of course in general racing experience, like, it's just the every year the experience you gain, and getting older and wiser, you hope. Wiser. That helps, I guess, the most, because the raw speed, I think, is there from the start.